When you start hunting for a built-in grill, the first thing you notice is how many cheap, slab-size budget models promise the world and then leave you with uneven hot spots, rust-prone grates, and a never-ending need for replacement parts. I've seen a handful of friends wrestle with those cheap units, only to end up with charcoal-scented flare-ups or a grill that can barely hold a single burger without sagging. That's the kind of buyer's remorse that makes me pause before I even click Add to Cart. So the question is, does the Blaze Prelude LBM feel like a smarter buy? Or is it another shiny promise that will fade once the warranty expires? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I spent a good weekend comparing a few 25-inch built-in options, reading the specs, and watching a couple of installation videos before I finally pulled the Blaze out of the box. What stood out to me wasn't just the glossy marketing copy, it was how the grill's design tries to solve the very problems that cheap alternatives create, like uneven heat distribution and flimsy construction. First off, the Prelude LBM is built from 304 stainless steel, the same alloy you find on commercial kitchen equipment. That isn't just a marketing buzzword. In practice, it means the body resists the kind of corrosion that turns a beautiful grill into a rusted eyesore after a few rainy seasons. I ran a quick water spray test on the side panels, and the steel held up without any pitting. For a homeowner who plans to keep the grill for a decade, that durability translates into fewer headaches and a longer usable life. The 3-burner layout is compact enough to fit into a standard 24-inch cutout, but the real cleverness is in the heat zone separators. Instead of a single open cooking surface, the grill splits the area into distinct zones: high heat for searing steaks, medium for chicken, and a low heat side that's perfect for indirect cooking. I tried a classic reverses ear ribeye. The high zone gave me that coveted crust in just a couple of minutes, while the medium zone let the interior finish cooking without overcooking the outside. The low zone acted like a mini smoker when I tossed a few wood chips in, keeping the grill temperature steady enough to finish a small slab of brisket without having to move it around constantly. Even heat distribution is another area where the Prelude tries to outshine cheaper models. Blaze calls the grids flame stabilizing, and you can actually feel the difference. The grates have a subtle curvature that channels flames away from the food, reducing flare-ups that often char the exterior while leaving the interior undercooked. I cooked a batch of turkey burgers that were notoriously prone to burning on a cheap grill. On the Prelude, the burgers stayed evenly browned, and the juices stayed in the patty instead of spilling onto the burners and causing flare-ups. Now, let's talk about the practical side of installing a built-in unit. The Prelude arrives with precise dimensions printed on the packaging, and the frame includes pre-drilled holes for mounting hardware. For someone with a bit of DIY confidence, the installation takes about 2 hours. Measure, cut the opening, bolt the grill in place, hook up the gas line, and you're ready to fire it up. If you're renting or you're not comfortable with gas connections, you'll need a professional, which adds $150, $200 to the overall cost. That hidden expense is something cheap countertop units don't force you to think about, but it's a real trade-off for a built-in that looks integrated with your kitchen or outdoor wall. Who should actually consider buying this grill? If you're serious about grilling at home, enjoy cooking multiple items at different temperatures, and have a dedicated space for a built-in unit, the Prelude LBM makes sense. It's especially appealing to families that like to host weekend BBQs where you might be juggling steaks, chicken wings, and vegetables simultaneously. The separate zones let you keep a platter of grilled veggies on low heat while you finish a thick pork chop on high, all without moving the food back and forth. It also suits people who want a grill that can hold its own in a semi-professional setting, catering small gatherings, for instance, because the commercial-grade burners deliver 42,000 BTUs that can truly sear meat quickly. On the flip side, the grill isn't a perfect fit for everyone. If you live in a small apartment balcony with limited clearance, the built-in requirement becomes a logistical nightmare. Likewise, if you're the kind of griller who only tosses a few sausages on a weekend, the extra cost and installation effort might not be justified. And because it's a natural gas unit, you'll need a permanent gas line or a propane tank set up nearby. Anyone who prefers the simplicity of charcoal or electric grills will find the fuel requirement a barrier. One hidden trade-off is the weight. The 304 stainless steel construction adds up to a hefty unit, roughly 150 pounds. That makes moving it for cleaning or seasonal storage a real chore. I had to enlist a second person just to shift it.